Hey everybody. So I've been asked a lot about doing a buff wheel of sorts. So basically this was my original concept here. As you can see, just a carriage bolt, a bunch of belt pads that are wore out. I used a nut, a washer, ground down the bolt, tried to make it fit. I'll see if I can kind of show you here a little bit better in the photos. But yeah, so that was kind of my rough idea. Obviously there's better ways to do it, so this video is kind of credited to Stevie and Sandy Songer. Sandy was kind enough to show us how her and Stevie do it when I was up in Eau Claire. And so it's pretty simple. You can go to Home Depot and buy this handy little arbor. It's like 10 bucks. Sandy said it's an easy place to get it. I bought two just because I'm notorious for breaking stuff. Get yourself a pack of sander belts from wherever you want. The cheapest is probably Harbor Freight. These ones I think came from Ace Hardware, our local store. They only carry the 3" by 20" ones. I normally use these ones from Harbor Freight that I believe are 4s. Yeah, they're a 4" one from Harbor Freight. But they're pretty simple to make. I'm still going to make mine out of these ones here just because this is how Sandy showed us how to do it. So basically it's pretty simple. I use tin snips to cut it. You got the arbor, you got these guys, and then basically whatever you need to use for your hole for that arbor. That arbor's got a little bitty hole, it's not too terribly big. Give me just a second here, I'll get set up and I'll show you. Okay, so the idea is use 6 of them individually. So you'll have 2 left over out of this pack, which is how I ended up with 2 out of the other pack. But so we'll take these, pretty simple. You just cut them as close to half as you can. Cut one side, lay them flat, smash them, whatever you gotta do. There's multiple ways. You can use a razor blade on the back. These are just junk tin snips that I've always had. And I've been using them for about 6 months making these, so. But yeah, they work pretty good. So then you end up with this. So you want to figure out roughly where your center hole is. So again, we'll just fold them in half, give them a little crease. So right about there is going to be our center hole. So we're going to take our good old Hart's drill. That's probably going to be a little big, but so take the drill there. We're just going to loosen the arbor, get it ready to go. And you can see you only need a hole. Just about the size of that little stem right there. I'm sure you guys can see it. But yeah. So we'll get the arbor set up here and ready. I think we're going to swap drill bits to something a little smaller. They have a tendency to come undone on you if you get them too sloppy. Okay. I don't like holes in the tool bench. So just drill through it. Pretty simple. See the hole? And the trick here to get these to last, to do a good job, is going to go back to back like that. And that's how they're going to get staggered on there, kind of opposing each other. So the first one's going to go, the hole could be a little bit bigger. Well, let's make it a little bit bigger, let's not fight it. Let's see. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Easy way to do that hole is to just pop a stake in it. Like a tent stake, you don't have to use a drill bit, because you will burn up your drill bits. These are made with just some junk bits that I've got. Nothing special, nothing extravagant. Okay. So now we'll go back to square one here, put these two and two together. Mash that arbor in there. All right. And then keep them back to back. Another one. Offset them a little bit there. Now, if you're using the 4-inch ones, there will not be any gaps. So if you use these ones, they're obviously a little wider, so there's no gaps. And that's why they recommend that. But unfortunately, Harbor Freight's about 45 minutes for me. It's just not really worth the drive. So this is what I got to settle. So I'll show you what I do to it instead. Get your arbor started, get it kind of snug. And I just offset them just a smidge. And that just kind of helps them fan out, blend in a little bit. They don't last quite as long because again, you're using your wheel, you're thinner, so you're gonna wear it out faster. But I only use 2 buff wheels. I use this one for my hardwoods because it lasts a lot longer. Mainly here in Iowa, we get a ton of oak, maple, ash, you name it, and it just eats these belts up. So this will be the finished thing here when you're done. Pull away a little bit here so you can see it better. So this is our finished piece here. You can see spins good. Arbor fits under nice. You really got to crank these arbors down to get them snug. Let me shut my fan off. But you really got to get these snug. Otherwise, they do spin off. You can put a little bit of all thread lock or anything you want on there. Sometimes people just put a little Teflon on there. Something to keep it together helps. But basically, yeah. Then you just pop it right in your drill. And see how it comes undone? Really got to crank on them. Eventually they stay in. My other one was also just a bolt. I don't know if I have it still. But this is my one that's wore out here. You can see it's down to nubbins. Still good, still's work, but you can see the sandpaper starting to wear out on it. But that's what it'll eventually look like on the edges. You get a nice feathered edge. Works great for pine. Gets to be a little gentler like this. I use 80 grit. On harder woods, I'd probably go to a harder grit like a 36. But that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to clamp this in the vise and get it snugged up. Okay. All right. So there we have it. Really nice buff wheel, cheap, $10 for this. I believe it's like $5 or $6 for a pack of those from Harbor Freight. Again, use the 4-inch ones, not the 3-inch ones. 4-inch ones are much bigger. They fit better. They last longer. So yeah, let's go ahead and try it out on the carving here. And so basically, I am going to start buffing my Poseidon. Is the reason I started this, and the water and the turtle need a lot of work done to them here. So I sanded the shell, got it done. This is what the buff wheel did to his hair. It looks really nice. Gets it nice and smooth to the touch. A lot more enjoyable than, say this. This is really rough, got a lot of fuzzies on it. So I'm gonna show you guys quick how it works. Works pretty good. Like I said, the harder the wood, obviously the more aggressive it is on your paper. So it's not gonna be gentle by any means. Let's get set up here. Sorry guys, this is all real time. I don't have time to stop and edit multiple clips together on this. Okay. And you're probably gonna see it come apart at some point. on the head. You got to be gentle with them. They're really, really aggressive initially. Let's set up on this and kind of check out here on this water and see what we're looking at here. Okay, we haven't filming any of this. All right, there's the water. Let's see what it'll do. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, really nice, really smooth, really aggressive. And then we come over here, really fuzzy. You know, that aggressive wheel really knocks all these fuzzies off. Does an amazing job. We'll do one more just so you guys can see it. Maybe. Okay, you can see the feathers on it. So the feathers on the edges are starting to form now, and that's when it's probably the best. It doesn't jerk nearly as bad. It's rough for about the first 30 seconds to a minute. Really jumps, really pulls on you. But yeah, if you can, when you spin it to help keep it from coming undone, let it slow down the wood. If you let it free spin, that's when it typically comes undone. But yeah, that's the gist of the buff wheels. Really good. Thanks Stevie and Sandy Songer for your tips on it. We really appreciate it. And stay tuned for the Poseidon video.